Falcons have only won one trophy this year, despite spending $6 or $7 million to build a dynasty, and all they purchased was a mountain of finals choke. Despite acquiring a literal super team of superstars, the only person that's having a worse time than this Falcons lineup is the owner's bank account, and they can't just afford one more superstar to fix this broken team. So today, I'm going to be building the roster, and I'm going to be analyzing their current roster to see who to cut and who to replace to build a dynasty so good and so great it's going to send Apex and Karrigan into an early retirement. And to keep it fair, I'm going to try not poaching from Team Vitality because obviously they're who we're comparing against. So who do we cut? If we first look across the board, there's three names that jump out immediately: Nico, Tessus, and Kixan. But with Nico, he kind of has an insurance policy. After Nico left, m0NESY refused to commit to the G2 lineup, who were the #1 team at the time. Their bond is so tight that m0NESY chose to leave G2 and join Falcons, an unproven project that honestly had no guarantee of even succeeding or even reaching the same heights as m0NESY did in G2. So to keep the best opera on the planet, you need to keep Nico on your team. And Nico finished top 18th this year, so he's not really a problem. He's more of an insurance that your best opera isn't going anywhere. Next up is Tessus, the dedicated anchor of this team. He's been relegated to the garbage roles in Falcons ever since Kaosuke has joined the lineup. His ceiling and his floor have completely fallen, but we know how good he can be. When Magisk was still on the team, he was the only one stopping the bleeding from a back-to-back choke against Vitality during IEM Melbourne and Blast Rivals. But good isn't good enough for a dynasty. To reach the next level, we need to replacing him with a dedicated anchor like Bit or Heavy God. Bit is the gold standard of anchoring and supporting your superstar as well. We saw Bit prove it when he was playing with Simple during the Stockholm Major. And Heavy God, he's a high potential wildcard player that can perform when he's truly needed. Either way, Tessus is out of the team. And now for the hardest cut is going to be Kixan. You need an IGL who doesn't crumble under pressure, and you need somebody who can call through all of the noise. And Kixan simply hasn't been able to call through the noise. The solution is Karrigan. I know he's 35 years old, but we need somebody who can manage huge personalities and egos into a cohesive unit. And we've seen Karrigan do this back in the 2016 FaZe lineup. Another person could be Alexi B. We know how good Alexi can be when we saw him carry a freshly made Na'Vi lineup into becoming major championships. But the thing with Alexi is that he gets frustrated easily, and Karrigan thrives in the chaos. He always has some FaZe magic that seems to kind of carry him all the way to the grand finals of any big stage. He's been in 5 major grand finals for a reason, but even though he's only won 1, it's more of a compliment to how great he's been and how great he's probably going to be. He's been dominating the scene for over a decade, and he can be the short-term catalyst that propels this team to an era-defining roster. And of course, the two that we're probably going to keep is going to be m0NESY and Kaosuke. But Kaosuke is not as untouchable as you think. m0NESY is a perennial top 3 player, and Kaosuke is a generational mechanical talent. But if we want to be fully delusional, we will be replacing Kaosuke with Donk. Donk is arguably one of the greatest players alive currently, and he will probably become the greatest player of all time if he continues to progress in the way that he has. He's the only player in Counter-Strike history to turn a roster that was stuck in tier 2 and tier 3 events for the entire organization's life cycle into major championship winners the year that he joined. But realistically, Donk is not the answer for this era. The player we truly need is ropz. And I know I said I wouldn't poach anyone from Vitality, but championships follow this man like a fat kid follows an ice cream truck. If we look at his stats, he's won 10 trophies in 3 years in FaZe, 10 trophies in 1 year in Vitality. In every organization he's been a part of, he's won at least 9 trophies with them. And as a lurker, the team doesn't need to be built around ropz. ropz can play around the team. He finds impact no matter where he is. But of course, Falcons, in their infinite wisdom, could choose to ignore me. And their best case scenario is to try to build a time machine and pick up ZywOo, Donk, Apex, why not, m0NESY as well. But until then, this is the roster that will define eras. But who do you think they should replace? And do you think you could build a better roster than what I have now? Type them in the comments. 67 789. Have a great New Year's, guys. This video is gonna be late. I was sick for a little bit. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.